saying good morning to our listeners, saying good morning to our viewers is, of course, the Mid-Morning Buzz here on Classic Radio GBN TV. I want to say welcome to all and all who is listening and viewing. And this segment, we do it, of course, compliments the folks of the Grenada Cooperative League. And as my good bro who is on the side here this morning, who is, of course, my guest, Mr. Brian Grimes, the Division of Cooperatives. Yeah, let me get that right. Good morning, Mr. Grimes. How you doing, sir?
Good morning. Happy to be here with you.
Yeah, nice to have you back.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's great to be here. We just had a bumper carnival, I would say, and I say that in terms of no violence and no serious incidents or accidents and things of that nature, and high influx.
The accidents was a little high in the,
based on the reports.
In the reports in terms of the percentage.
Yeah,
but anything of a major incident,
exactly.
There was there was no percentage much to really talk of.
Exactly, and there was a high influx also of visitors where if people renting vehicles, you would have little more accidents and things of that nature. But generally, I thought the carnival was a success, and I'm happy as for Grenada in that context. So now we're really back to business, and trying to build our country, trying to really build our economy, and I'm happy to be here. Coming off a very successful carnival.
Yeah, well, it's always a pleasure to have you on the program, and of course, the information that we're going to disseminate this morning, especially for individuals out there who have that interest in knowing how cooperative function, how they work. We've been doing this for the last couple of weeks. Of course, we lost last week. But this information is the kind of information you want to pay all the attention to.
Yeah, you're correct. This is about business, the cooperative business model. The last time our division was on this program, the Cooperative Spotlight, was the end of July. I think that was Mr. Claude Emmons, and he spoke to the structure of a cooperative. Today, we will delve a little bit in our few minutes into the role of the board of directors, right? So, and both of them are connected as you will see as we speak on it. So,
all right. So we delved through the structure, as you said, with Mr. Emmons, and now we're going to talk about the role of the board of directors. Now, to get the conversation rolling off, the board of directors is all part of the structure also, as you said, right? Now, tell us how the board of directors fits in and how does they function.
Right. Good. So, just want to rehash a little bit, as I always do at the beginning of our programs, because sometimes there are new viewers, as you would understand. The last time, that was about 3 weeks ago, we had a representative from our division speaking on the structure of a cooperative. And basically, the structure, just to rehash, go over it, the members are at the very top.
Yes.
Right? The general membership. Then you have the board of directors, which comes from the membership, right? Then you have committees that the board of directors will, establish, right? And then you have the managers and the staff at the very bottom of that pyramid. So we have the members, the board of directors, the committees, and the management, right?
So that create that pyramid.
That pyramid. So the members, they call the shot. They are the bosses of the organization. So
heading that pyramid, you would say, is the members.
Of course, the general membership. For people who don't understand the concept of cooperatives, we at the Division of Cooperatives, we deal with the non-financial cooperatives. The financials or the credit unions, right? But we deal with the non-financials. But the structure is very, very similar, where the members are at the top, and then you have the board of directors, then you have the committees, and then you have the management and the staff. So it's very similar. So if you don't understand, you can take that correlation, because most Grenadians are members of credit unions. So the board of directors, who are they? So we must define who are the board of directors for us to get into it. They are basically the members who are elected to run the cooperative, not on a daily basis, but they are the ones who set policies, right? Who ensure that the vision of the cooperative is realized, who create a pathway for the success of the cooperative.
And they are selected from the overall membership.
They are selected from the overall membership. So that is very, very important. And they are normally elected at the annual general meetings, a topic we have broached on this program before, right? So based on the Cooperative Societies Act, Act number 8 of 2011, the board is supposed to be comprised of between 5 to 13 members.
Okay.
Good? That's under Section 53.
Each one bearing different functions.
That is correct. Between 5 and 13. What I have seen in my career within the division of cooperatives is that we have never seen as much as 13.
Never had as much as 13.
No, normally it's basically 7 or 9. Right?
Is there a minimal amount that's supposed to be on the board or maximum amount on the board?
Right. So like I said, it's between 5 and 13.
5 and 13. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And
Probably missed that.
It's uneven. It's an uneven number. So you're not going to have 6. You're not going to have 8. You're not going to have 10. And this is simply because what you're trying to avoid is deadlocks when it comes to decision making. So you'll have 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, and surrounding that, right? Sort of numbers, odd numbers. But the Act also speaks to the fact that you need to have these particular members, and these particular members are a president, a vice president, a secretary, and a treasurer.
Yes.
Right? So after that, you could stretch it and do all sorts of things. You could probably have a public relations officer, you could have a flow member, you could have different members, but fundamentally, you need a president, right?
Yes.
You need a vice president, a treasurer, and a secretary.
So those are the 5 fundamental members that kicks it going.
It's 4, right?
4.
Yeah.
Oh, that's 4. That's 4 there.
Yeah,
but then you said he must start at 5. But you must start at 5, right?
Yeah, so the 5th could be a flow member or a position like a public relations officer, which a lot of modern organizations have PROs now.
Need somebody to speak.
Yeah, somebody to speak and so forth. So that's basically the composition of board of directors within the non-financial cooperatives. Now, some may wonder, well, okay, apart from those fundamental positions, what else is there? So in modern times, in terms of organizations, you always hear about diversity, inclusion and equity. That's what it is in terms of organizations now. So whereas in other modern organizations, you'll ensure, okay, well, we have these board members, we'll make sure that we have a female on, we'll make sure we have this person of this background or whatever it is. In modern times, for the purpose of this program, the diversity will be in terms of skill set. Okay. Right? So on the board, you don't want to have everybody doing the same thing. Yeah. Right? You'll want to ensure that you have people who are good at accounts, people who are good at evaluating metrics, data, and things of that nature, people who are good at communication.
That's why I mentioned that everybody should have a premier function that they carry.
That is correct.
Within
So
the
you have the correct understanding. So that is the optimal thing. A lot of the times within the cooperatives, that might be a bit difficult to come by, but as the membership grows over a period of time, you will probably have a greater pool, a more talented pool to extract, to put people on the board of directors.
But would they be permitted to outsource board of directors?
No, they would not be. So based on the Act, it must come from the membership. Okay. So you're not going to have...
I mean, that is crucial, because somebody may be listening and say, well, we want to start this particular cooperative right now. And, yes, we may have the membership, but we don't have the individual with the skills that we want as someone who is able to manage this properly. Right. Someone who could be that vice president, or someone could be that treasurer. They may not... Sometimes depending on the individual starting. I want to get the direction I'm going.
Of course.
And we don't have that skill set within the membership.
And that is a beautiful observation, but this can be countered. So, for example, on the board, there's nothing stopping you at particular points based on the initiative. A particular meeting, you may bring in a subject matter expert in a particular area to give some insight on a matter depending on the direction the cooperative wants to go. But apart from that, we did speak about the structure a little bit earlier and in past programs where you have a manager. Yeah. So that manager should have a very wide skill set. The board will hire somebody who can handle in different areas where the manager does the day-to-day. The board is not the day-to-day. Okay. Right? So you hire very capable managers and staff to ensure that certain things go in a particular direction. Right?
All right. All right. Now, how important is the board of directors within a particular cooperative, sir?
Well, I would say it's almost everything, because I have a fundamental belief that a group of lion led by a sheep will be defeated by a group of sheep led by a lion. That means
that's
leadership.
A nice analogy,
leadership is very, very important. Yeah. Now, we have seen over a period in time that where there is poor leadership, even though there is a lot of talent, even though there is a lot of resources available, even though the labor market or just the market for whatever product or service you want to deal with is out there, and it's in good numbers, and it's in a good setting. If you have improper board leadership, the business would collapse. So I would say critically that the board is very, very important. That is why I spoke to the fact that you must have diverse skill sets. So the board of directors on it, if you have to be a director, you should possess both hard skills and soft skills. Okay. So some may be wondering, what is a hard skill versus a soft skill? A hard skill is something like you understand how to use Microsoft 365, yes. Right? You understand, you are certified accountant. Right, you are certified data analyst. You are certified computer engineer, so you know about the software and the hardware aspects of it. Those are hard skills that could be defined, yes. And you probably could take an exam to evaluate whether or not you can. And
a person is qualified to do that.
And you know that you're an engineer,
yeah.
So you have that hard skill there. But you also need soft skills on the board, and that is critical important. So despite the fact that you may have all these hard skills and you're good at this or you're good at that particular skill, if you cannot communicate, which is a soft skill, if you don't know about conflict resolution, which is a soft skill,
yes,
there will be a collapse after a while, and you must have those good interpersonal relationships on the board for there to be overall success of the organization. Another key important soft skill is leadership.
Yes.
And everything hinges on leadership. So we need that particular mix when we, set up boards, when we elect board members, so that there is proper chemistry and everything, so that the ultimately the cooperative benefits from that mix of personalities and skills.
If I may have, I hope it's a question that poses some relevance. Now, the cooperative league or the division of cooperatives, how do they interplay into the board of directors in a particular cooperative? How do they come into play there?
All right, that's a very good question. So, for example, we have a new cooperative.
Yes.
Let's imagine we have a new cooperative and they want to learn the ropes.
Yeah.
It is not unusual for that cooperative to say, look, call the division and say, this is our second meeting, or this is our first meeting. We would like to have you there so that you can, lead us into, the direction of how we should carry out that meeting.
That guidance, per se.
Right. Because sometimes based on the personalities, there could be a lot of friction, right? How cooperatives are set up, it is not for a preeminent personality to dominate, right? Even though there may be a president. Yeah. It is for the organization itself. The principle of cooperatives is for there to be a lot of democracy. So what will happen? They will invite and we will guide them, whether it's the league or the division of cooperatives, in terms of how they conduct meetings and how they relate with each other, because a lot of businesses get success or get failures based on how the board interacts with each other. Just to get into it a little further so people can understand the diverse roles that are played, the president, what does the president do? I spoke to the president, the vice president, the treasurer, and the secretary. The president basically presides over meetings, so normally he chairs the meeting. That president, more often than not, if there is interactions with external stakeholders like negotiations and so forth, he leads in those areas. The president is supposed to be someone who is good at conflict resolution. You're not going to take a controversial personality to chair a cooperative or lead it, because before the meeting starts, he might break up. Right? Yeah. So you need that person who can gel things, who can communicate
plays an important part there.
So that's what the person do. Basically leads, as you well aware, and I will have a sports analogy here. Even though somebody is not the best player on a team, for example, a cricket team, they probably have those intangibles with leadership, getting camaraderie between people, understanding talent management, where they understand who's the best at what, and they assign people, and then you get the best result for victory ultimately. And that's basically what the president does. He leads, he coordinates, he chairs, and makes sure that everything is well within the board. The vice president basically operates in the absence of the president. But we don't just want to relegate it like that. I spoke earlier to the fact that we have committees, right? So a vice president may lead a committee. Yeah. So in credit unions now, I just want to put that analogy out there. You might have a supervisory committee, a credit committee. A vice president may lead that, but for the sake of what we are speaking about here, which is non-financial cooperatives, vice president may lead the investment committee, which is critical for the expansion of the cooperative. So in principle, the vice president operates in the absence of the president, but they still have an important role to play in terms of being an advisor to the president, filling in other important and critical roles.
And instead of in charge of other groupings within us.
And the secretary now, that is one of the hardest positions within the board of directors, in my humble opinion, because you have to take the minutes, and the minutes speaks to all the decisions that are made, right, and the actions to be taken, and that needs to be very well coordinated in chronological order. So when questions are asked, that secretary is supposed to be able to pull that information readily. They write and correspond to external stakeholders. They set agendas. They make sure that everything is in order, and all the documents and the information related to the cooperative is readily available and readily filed, right? And then we have the treasurer, of course, and you cannot overstate the importance of the treasurer, because they're dealing with people money.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So they are normally the signatories to checks, along probably with the president, depending on the bylaws of the cooperative. They ensure that things all goes well in terms of investment. They analyze the financial statements of the cooperative to ensure that the decisions that are made at the board are good. So for example, if you realize you're going in a particular direction where you're in the red with a particular business strategy, should you continue, the treasurer will come in and say, no, I think we should pivot and go in a different direction. So
because of the results he's seeing from that particular,
he or she is seeing in that way. So the treasurer already oversees the finance of the cooperative, and does make sure that the paperwork is okay, ensures that there are internal controls so that they to minimize the opportunity for embezzlement and so forth. Hopefully the treasurer himself or herself is not an embezzler. Right? So and that brings me to the other point. When you are a board of director, you're supposed to have some certain essential qualities.
Yes.
You're supposed to be very honest. You're supposed to be very transparent, right? You're supposed to be selfless. And I say that in the stead that the organization's interests supposed to supersede yours as an individual, right? So what we see a lot of the times happening in different organizations, I'm speaking on a negative end now. Somebody goes on a board, they go and take a loan which is against the bylaws of the organization, the amount of the loan, the fact that they shouldn't take it, and so forth. So a lot of these things harms the integrity of organizations. That is why it is so important that whoever sits on the board of directors, apart from the hard and the soft skills spoken of, they must have practically impeccable character to get that opportunity.
I mean, my next question goes along the lines, and I'm speaking here as maybe as someone who's part of our membership of a member of a particular cooperative, and I always have that notion that who does the board of directors listen to? If you're getting the direction of my question, yes, are they supposed to be on the directive of the membership, or are they in charge of the membership?
Right.
You understand?
Yes,
Who do they listen to?
And that is a key question. And
are they in charge of the member? I've said it in the terms of reference as a member, and I say, well, I know I'm part of a cooperative. I know we have a board of directors, but who does the board of directors listen to?
GT, that's an important question, and that is why Mr. Emmons was on, I think was on the 31st of July, speaking to the structure of the cooperative. But I know you posed that question in the interest of the listenership and the viewership. Now, one would think instinctively that the board, they have all the bright people, they have all the people with all the skills, the hard skills, the soft skills, they know how to, maneuver, they are great accountants, they are great leaders, they are great communicators, they run the cooperative. That's not the case.
That's not it.
Ultimately, they have to answer to the membership of the cooperative, and normally that is done through annual general meetings or special meetings that are called based on the urgency of matters in terms of the business of the cooperative. So if a member of the board is not performing well, so for example, one of the soft skills, I don't know if you refer to it, time management.
Yes, and that comes from the secretary who will take care.
Right. Suppose the secretary always late. Suppose the secretary is always absent from meetings. They don't answer to themselves. They have to answer to the membership. So that once that is reported to the membership, that individual is pulled. So there are performance metrics that have to be looked at. That the members will have a say. Yes, we elected you. You have certain special skills, but you have to answer to us.
And as we as members are not happy with your performance for various reasons, and so forth.
And it goes with other things. It goes with unions, it goes with governments, it's different things, and that's why there are election cycles. And it brings me to the point of, okay, you're on the board, but you're not a board member for life. So under section 73 of the Cooperative Societies Act, it speaks to the fact that a board member cannot serve for more than 6 consecutive years. Right? So the terms are normally 3 years, so basically 2 terms. Then you have to take a rest.
Even if the membership is happy with your performance?
Even if the membership is happy with your performance, there are term limits. But you can take a rest and come back, at least for 1 year, and then come back in a certain capacity. And what that does, it prevents the cult of personality that could take place. Because suppose you're the president, after a while you feel what the business is yours.
Complacency steps in.
You start taking liberties, and the members can't talk to you because you feel, no, I've been president so long,
I'm in charge.
This is my business, right? So what that does, and the act and the crafters of the act, they are very smart in that way. They ensure that there is continuity, there is opportunity for development of other members, so everybody gets a chance to perform in different roles to develop the membership, which is a cooperative principle of education and training. And again, if you go to the bare and basic definition of cooperative, it is a very democratic organization. So nobody could come and say, well, that business is mine and I'm doing what I want.
Right. My final question to you before we take a wrap this morning. Now, can the membership call upon the board at any given time of directors? Can we, the membership, for some reason, we have a membership of 100 and 60% of that membership says, hey, I think we need to call an instant meeting for whatever reason. Could that happen, or does not, the membership just can't do that at all?
Yeah, they can. Apart from the membership, even the registrar of cooperatives, which is the head of our organization, the division of cooperatives, can call upon the board, not just randomly. You have to have legitimate reason.
I mean, you can say,
because
well,
you can't just exercise power in a willy-nilly fashion. If there are things that are concerning you, or that is concerning you personally, of course, the registrar can do so, as well as the members who are the highest. I want to repeat, the highest decision makers. So the board is not operating on a frolic for itself. So just to wrap up very quickly, one may wonder what could prevent you from being a member of the board. Right? So we have different things. One, you must be of sound mind. right? So if you probably make frequent trips to the Mongay Psychiatric Hospital, you would not get that opportunity because you remember you're in charge of people business.
Yes.
So you have to have a stable mind, a stable way of thinking to ensure that all goes well in that way. Now, you also need to be somebody who has taken care of himself or herself financially in a good way.
Yeah.
Right?
So you don't have a level of dependency anywhere else.
So, for example, if you're a member of the cooperative and you put up yourself to be a board member or a president or whatever it is, and then someone look in the papers and they see the bank want to take back your house, you would not get that opportunity because
that's a sort of a red flag.
You can't manage your personal affairs. How you want to come and manage a cooperative? You understand? So so that aspect of it is important. Now you have to be of a certain age, like I said before. You can't expect for somebody under 18 to have the serious responsibility of managing the money and the policies and the strategies of a cooperative going forward. Also, if you sit on a next board, you will be ineligible because sometimes they are competing interests, what we call conflict of interest. Right? So basically those are some of the things that prevent you from being a board member. If you have been convicted of a crime, if you can't take care of your affairs financially in the best way, if you're very, very young, under 18, and if you don't have leadership qualities, and leadership doesn't always mean speaking up and doing different things, but being able to manage in a very ethical manner, you will be ineligible to serve on the board of directors of a cooperative.
So, Grams, we come to that stage of the morning. We have to take a wrap for today. Interesting conversations, the kind of conversation we could go on all morning talking about because, sometimes, even though as much as we have said, we have just grazed the surface on this. The surface on this. I want to thank you once again, as always, popping by and sharing. Next week we'll have I'm not sure if you'll be popping by again or we have a different representative popping by.
So next week, who is coming on? I believe you will have quite a lot of guests next week because both the league and the division will have representatives. So you may have 3 guests simultaneously. Should be some great conversation.
I want to thank you once again.
All right. Appreciate it, man.
All the best. Hey, folks, that's where we take a wrap for today's edition of the Mid-Morning Buzz. All compliments of folks of the, of course, division of Cooperative is Cooperative Spotlight. Until then, have a good one, folks. That's what we say goodbye.
As GBN brings you coverage of this year's Republic Bank CPL, there'll be some adjustments to our programming lineup on Tuesday the 19th right through to Friday the 22nd of August. Transitions will be from 5:05 p.m. GBN TV News will be from 6 p.m. and repeated right after the CPL match. Transitions will be rebroadcast after the GBN News Repeat. GBN, with you anywhere and everywhere with sports coverage.
On Sunday, November the 9th from 5 p.m. at the Grenada Trade Center, Legends Promotion presents the 19th annual Hubbard's Legends in Concert featuring the best of Grenada, along with 2 special guest artists. This edition promises to be extra special. Get ready, Grenada, to be blown with surprises at the 19th annual Hubbard's Legends in Concert, Sunday, November the 9th, 5 p.m. Grenada Trade Center. Stay tuned to GBN for more.
Down to the soles of your feet, a glimmer
welcome once again. Welcome back inside of the Mid-Morning Buzz. I've been a pretty busy morning here on the Mid-Morning Buzz this morning. Let me say good morning to those of you, of course, once again listening to Classic Radio, those who listen to Hot 98, and those of you viewing via GBN TV. And let me take a time out and say good morning to my guest this morning. You know, folks, I'm sometimes the worst with names, so certainly hope I get the name corrected, or should I say correct and in the right way. Let me say good morning to, this was Scarlett, Howery. Hope I'm getting it right. Good morning to you. How are you this morning? Did I get your name right?
Good morning, and it's perfect, yes.
All right. I could give myself a thumbs up this morning. That's good. That's good to do. How are you this morning?
I am fantastic. How about yourself?
Doing good. Since I got your name right, I'm doing good. Since I got your name right, of course. So, Scarlett, you're here representing, of course, Devry, of course, University this morning. It's always been a household name you've been hearing for years. I mean, from a youngster, I mean, you know, sometimes you're looking at American television and so forth, you hear Devry University. Roll me just a quick briefing about Devry University before we get a little bit more into the meat of our conversation this morning.
Yeah, so Devry has been around for more than 90 years. We're a university that's focused on truly closing the skill gap for learners and providing them with access to education for the specific skills that are most in demand in industries that are shaped by technological change. And so we have programs that are 100% online in areas like business, healthcare, as well as technology. And again, we've been online for many years, so I think we have perfected what online needs to be for learners, providing them with, again, those skills and the access that they need. So excited about the opportunity to be in Grenada and to be able to share with those who want to gain those skills, our programs and our offerings in a way that provides them with a great level of access.
All right, certainly happy to hear that. Now, Devry University has decided they want to tap into the Caribbean. I mean, what brought about that reasoning to why you want to tap into the Caribbean? Of course, knowing that the talent, of course, within the Caribbean, I'm assuming, is one of the reasons why you want to tap in, and what did you as a university has to offer. Talk to me about that, the reasons of why you want to tap into the Caribbean, of course, and get Caribbean individuals to be associate themselves with Devry University.
Yeah, industry and the economy is global. And the need for talent that has the right skills for those industries that continue to grow is enormous, right? There's plenty of skill gaps. We've heard about it in all industries, from cyber to security, AI to higher until healthcare. And the importance of the Caribbean for us is that we've been in the Caribbean for many years. We started in the Bahamas with the Bahamas Institute of Technology, and we've been able to really make a great impact within that country. And we wanted to expand that because we know that the learners there have had an exceptional opportunity to gain those skills, and we've seen the outcomes be so tremendously helpful for the industry there that we felt like expanding that throughout all of the Caribbean through our Bridge to Brilliance Scholarship was the right thing to do, and part of our mission, right? We're mission driven to close that opportunity gap, and this is just a part of what the work we want to do.
What have you seen thus far? You said you started in the Bahamas, and of course, you have been. I'm sure there are other Caribbean islands who have also been part of this overall, of course, whole coming together of the Caribbean with Devry. What are some of the main courses that we have seen Caribbean individuals gravitating a whole lot to via Devry? If you could ever share that information.
A few months ago, with the Jamaica Employer Federation, where we built a partnership with them to help their industry and help many companies throughout Jamaica to gain access to this upskilling and reskilling that Devry is able to do for their employees. And then we moved into other countries, including St. Lucia, where we have a partnership with the St. Lucian Tourism Association, and even in Dominica, where we have just signed a partnership with academics for creating a pathway for their learners from the current programs they're in into Devry programs. So ultimately, building partnerships is the way that we feel is the most important piece of understanding the industry within every island, and then building programs and pathways that meet the needs for that industry. So we're excited about the opportunity to be in Grenada and begin to build some of those partnerships, along with just being able to offer the programs directly to those who might want to gain those technical skills that they'll need for all of those industries.
Oh, great to hear that. I mean, higher level of education is important for DeVry, making sure that, whatever you folks have to offer goes across the board, especially within the Caribbean. Now, the Caribbean as it is right now, I'm assuming there's a lot of success stories that you can share. You spoke about St. Lucia, you spoke about Dominica, of course now Grenada. Now, the success from these programs, has it been very overwhelming for the DeVry?
Yes. So, it's always exciting to be able to step into new countries and provide learning that we've been doing in the United States for more than 90 years. And the success truly for us is the success of the people, right? So we always see this as the individual success truly is DeVry's success, and the industries in which we want to impact is also really important to us. So we turn to the particular islands and the companies and organizations that are within those islands that help to drive growth around the economy, and we listen and understand what their needs are so that we can build pathways that allow them to gain the skilled workforce that they need. And so for us, that is the success of this. That is the overwhelming success that we've seen in the Bahamas Institute of Technology as we built that partnership, and as we continue to build these new partnerships that we have in St. Lucia and Dominica. It really is about what is the success of the organizations there that will truly tell us how successful we are with building these partnerships.
Tell me this. You spoke a lot of association with particular companies or entities within the Caribbean. Is it also open to that individuals, per se, who wants to contact DeVry on an individual basis? Could that also happen?
Yes. So part of the Bridge to Brilliance program is that we're able to offer a 50% tuition savings to learners directly. So any learner that is interested in finding out more about DeVry programs, they can go to devry.edu, devry.edu, and they can chat with one of our admissions advisors. They'll walk them through the process of determining what programs are right for them, making sure they get access to that tuition savings, and also a part of that program, the Bridge to Brilliance, is that we provide them with a level of care. They get direct access to admissions advisors that will walk them through the entire process. It is truly about us ensuring that every learner gets the opportunity, working at an organization or not, they still have the opportunity to be a part of this program.
A crucial part of this also is the opportunity to attend the university online. With the comfort of your home, you don't have to leave your island and of course, and say, well, I have to travel, mix with different cultures and so forth. So that's a fundamental part that is reassuring for individuals who want to participate in this particular, of course, opportunity to be part of DeVry, I would say.
Fundamental. Yeah, absolutely. It is 100% online, and you're not left alone when you're online. You're still in classrooms with faculty who are teaching you through live lectures. There are several times throughout the week that you'll be invited to a virtual live lecture, so you can still chat with your professors and work with them, while you also still have the autonomy to do some of your work on your own at your own time when it works for you. Be it midnight, be it at 12 in the afternoon, you still have some of the work that you can do virtually asynchronous, and the other parts of it that are synchronous. So I think you're spot on that the most important piece of this is accessibility, and we provide that in a few ways, right? With the Bridge to Brilliance, it's not just about providing them with a scholarship, which is critical and important for access, but it's also about giving them the virtual opportunity to take the classes and do this on a time that works for them. So we want to meet every learner, be it a learner that works for a company company or a learner that doesn't and is just looking for those skills and meet them where they are.
What are some of the main process of going through? You did mention, you contact via online, you go to the websites and so forth. What are the other options of individuals can, of course, contact Devry who have that keen individual, or companies who have that keen individuals of maybe wanting their employees to sign up? What are some of the processes that they do have to go through?
Yeah, so you would reach out to Devry at devry.edu. You can chat again with an admissions advisor, or if they are a company that's looking to build a partnership or a pathway, they can certainly do the same. Go to devry.edu. There's a page there about Devry Works, and that is the way in which they can build a pathway. We will then work with them directly. Our Devry Works team will reach out to those companies that are interested. We'll understand a little bit more about where they see the biggest opportunities for growth. Maybe it's AI courses that they need to take, or something in cybersecurity, or maybe it's just a business class, some soft skills that their employees need. So we'll understand a little bit more about that, and then we'll build a program for them. It may be a certificate program, it might be a couple of courses, it might be a full degree or master's, but we then will work with them to build that and pull that together for them and identify the employees that need to be a part of that program. So it is as simple as just reaching out to the website, going to the Devry Works page, and we will then be in contact with them very quickly to help build that pathway.
All right. Scarlett, I want to thank you. I hope you don't mind me calling you by a first name basis. Scarlett, I want to thank you so much for sharing information this morning. I know there are a lot of folks in Grenada who's listening to this particular conversation that we'll be having right now, and of course it'll be all high geared in terms of contacting Devry and wanting to participate, because education at that level is something that everyone needs. Anything in closing? Is anything in closing before we take a wrap?
Yeah, no, just thank you for giving us the opportunity. And again, if you are interested in the Bridge to Brilliance Scholarship, total tuition savings of 50%, please reach us at devry.edu. We're excited to work with you and help you to gain those skills that you'll need.
Scarlett, thank you once again, and best wishes goes out to you for the rest of the day.
Oh, I appreciate you. Thank you.
Have a good one. Hey, folks, as we take a wrap for this edition of the Mid-Morning Buzz here on Classic Radio GBN TV, join us again for another edition. That's where we say goodbye.